And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks again for joining us. We do appreciate it. Before we get into this game real quick, I do want to talk about one thing. We are actually doing a charity with eBay right now, and you can go to eg.ebaycharity.gg, and it's really easy. There's 3 different ways to contribute. One is just to simply list things. You can actually just say, hey, does anyone want to buy this? 2 is to add your electronic stuff under the My Gadgets portal. And literally, that's just like, I have a PS4, and you list it, and then it tells you how much people would probably pay to get that off your hands. You don't actually have to sell it, but it just kind of informs you what your general value of things are inside your house for electronic. Then, of course, the third way to do that is to actually bid on the auction items that we have between Root, EG, and Curse. They're all putting up items that are signed or kind of limited edition special stuff. But all that money gets matched by eBay and then gets donated to a charity. So it's a pretty cool event. And it's a good way to give back, but also show eBay that esports is worth spending some time in. And I would appreciate if you guys would contribute. Sean, what do you think about this matchup, man? Let's just get it started, and you tell me about these players.
Lowly is one of these players who is not afraid of seeking out the truth.
Oh, damn.
You know what I mean by that, Jeff? There's a lot of players who, there's a lot of discussion around StarCraft 2. Fun as hell game to talk about. Oh my god, wait a minute.
What?
Wait a minute. Okay, we're going to do something that's going to violate every rule that you should ever do socially.
You scared me. I thought I hosted the wrong replay again or something like that. You're like,
dude, go to Lowly's base and just start the replay over. You can hit the T button to do that.
Okay. Actually, T button's not doing it. You must guide me, Father Day 9. I don't know the button to hit to restart. I can do it manually, but that would show the time on the replay, and I don't want to do that.
All right, look. This is going to be. Look, wait. You know what? It's.
Just tell me what happened. Just tell me.
He doesn't have his workers auto split.
Oh, that's weird.
He split them up, and it looked a lot more optimal.
Did it actually? Okay. Well, that's cool.
That was crazy. Okay, Jeff. Let's introduce our players.
Do it.
In the top right-hand corner of the man that we almost restarted everything for, it is Lowly. And in the bottom left from Team ROOTGaming, a fresh face in the scene, Root Succeed. I want to talk about the truth, Jeff. Can we do a little bit of truth discussion?
Yeah, I didn't know what you were talking about when you said that, so please tell me.
Okay. People, most often, want to be right in discussion, as opposed to find out what the actual correct answer is. And you see this in StarCraft 2 where people will be like, oh, that's so dumb, why doesn't he, quote, play standard? No, don't do that. That's not standard play. Well, you don't want to go Marine tank anymore. You want to go Marine mine. And people don't say this with, I don't say people, but, there are those people who do this without any explanation.
Right.
They just say it. Lowly cares far more about cool, interesting ideas and making them work by trusting himself. I saw Decimate Hero with a very fast +2 attack Baneling play. Why does that work? Because a Baneling destroys a worker in one hit if it has +2 attack. Lowly is one of the few who did consistent Baneling carpet bombings all through Wings of Liberty and had one of the highest Zerg vs. Protoss win percentages. I have not had the luxury of watching him in StarCraft 2, Heart of the Swarm edition, but I mean he is sick. He is sick, smart, and he's capable of doing the standard stuff, capable of doing unorthodox stuff, and he all does it because he trusts his search for the truth.
I actually really like that little speech, John, and I agree with everything you just said. Lowly is a what people would call uncharacteristic player, but I like your explanation that basically he's not interested in playing how people think he should play, but rather chasing down victory and doing it in what he feels is the best way possible. I'm going to nitpick here real quick, and that's fine because I think I was allotted 3 nitpicks per broadcast. This is going to be one of them.
Yes, that's cool. I'll be keeping track of your nitpick counter.
Please do. I don't like that Succeed took the bottom gas because this top one is the one potentially scouted by an Overlord, but certainly more likely to be scouted by, like, let's say these Lings running in here. And that broadcast that you're on a single gas, maybe he wants that to happen. If that's the case, then I take back my nitpick. But if he doesn't, then I feel like he's revealing something he otherwise doesn't have to. If he takes that top gas, the Zerg's mind wanders to, maybe he's on double gas and I'm not expecting a gateway timing. But with just the one gas, you're damn right he's expecting the gateway timing. End nitpick.
I mean, I will just say that Jeff, I 100% both agree with and endorse said nitpick.
Thank you.
And you know what? Like, sort of even continuing on this, Roach Warren coming out before third, very, very unusual, but this is the lowly that I love watching. I mean, we've been seeing Scarlet do things like go for this Zergling speed first, before expand to exploit these gateway firsters, and here it looks like we're going to see a Roach push also to exploit these.
We would if he didn't just cancel the Roach Warren all of a sudden. And I have zero explanation for that, Sean. His gas is so far behind because he did wait for that Roach Warren. We have +1 attack for these Zealots. There's a round of Zealots being warped in, 4 in total. He does have 2 Queens here and a round of Lings, so I think he can hold this off right now, but he has to. He has to hold it off, otherwise the canceling of that Roach Warren could be his doom.
Yeah, I mean, you don't really, I don't know. I know not. However, Lowly can follow this up by going Baneley Nest.
Yeah.
There's no Forge cannon at the front. Just 2 gateways and no cannon. So Succeed's doing the smart moves. He's warping in to try to kill off the third. He didn't see it, so he made a poke. And then he retreated back through the third, just to make sure. And now he's going to pretend to do another poke, but he's just going to pull back behind this pylon.
Excellent positioning. These Zealots are getting about as good of a conflict as they could possibly ask for. Mothership Core adding in on that Queens at the very edge of creep. It looks like the Lings are being outlasted. I don't think Lowly knows how all-in Succeed is right now. Succeed's not building that many probes. He just now took a second gas. +1's about to finish. There is a Robo down. No gases at the natural. I mean, Succeed is leaning into this in every way possible. And these +1 Zealots are about to fight just Zerglings with 2 Queens. I mean, there's no X factor to Lowly's army. I don't know where to save him.
Hallucinated Phoenix just to check out. God, this is good play from Succeed. Succeed does not have a gas geyser yet set up at his natural. Just now starting. Pushing into the front. But he's already denied the third base from Lowly for such a long time. And
these are
look at those
Zealots.
Zerglings melt.
Those are +1 Zealots, man.
God.
They don't give a damn about Zerglings. There's a spine crawling out behind that natural. Succeed very smartly says, that's fine, I'll go ahead and fight inside your main base. The Queen's having a tough time getting outside that quagmire, as I know that some people like to call it. These Zealots are going to get up here, and now this is missed mining time at best, but probably some dead units.
At this point in time, the Zealots are just going to target fire whatever will draw the Zerglings up to the high ground. They poke at the layer. More Zerglings show up, instantly disappear, and now that Lowly actually has this creep, Lowly can do the kiting. It looks like Succeed might be the hope Root needs to try to tie this thing up. Hey, Roaches! Oh, man, if only that Roach Warren had been canceled earlier. Oh, that is such a terrible feeling. Maybe it was just a misread. Whatever it was, he would have been much better off having that be done.
Mothership Core does go down as it's apt to do when there's 3 Queens on creep, but that's a small cost to pay for what the damage has been done. I mean, another Mothership Core will instantly get remade. Oh, not instantly, I guess, because it hasn't been remade just yet, but it will get remade. Meanwhile, back at home, there's 5 sentries being joined by Immortals coming off a Robo. I mean, basically, Lowly is on equal basis with the Protoss and has been for a while, and is going to be going up against a Protoss that's making the anti-what-you-got unit, the Immortal versus the Roaches.
And this is going to be a beautiful timing from Succeed. He's literally just going to go 1 Immortal, move out, take the 4th. You don't need anything more than that. You know that these are not going to be speed Roaches for a little bit longer. Oh, and whoa, a Robo Bay. Now, Jeff, what do you make of that? Most players have been following in the footsteps of players like Stardust, who just goes for this low econ, high expo count, but this is a little more traditional from Succeed, going for the Robo Bay.
You know, one of the things that I think is possible, this is kind of a cop-out answer, but I almost want to just say it. Succeed, as a Swedish player, may be aware of Lowly's playstyle. I mean, you can see Lowly is going into super fast Hive, double Evo, melee upgrades, which you don't necessarily want Colossus for, but with just 1 Colossus, even at no range, you can really just smash through any number of Zerglings. So you might be thinking of a 2-base timing. He's actually getting a shield upgrade as well, which is very, very peculiar.
I think that's just to look cool.
Well, tell me about it. Why do you like it?
I mean, I actually don't like it.
You don't like it? Okay, I thought you said you thought it was cool.
I think it's just to look cool. You know, yeah, I got shield upgrades. You know, I buy Armani. You know, like his units have mostly health. I mean, there's really no... there's 2 justifications to get shields. One is that you have an almost only Archon army, and the other is that you are going
switch to air.
Yeah, like air and ground, and you want something that benefits both.
Yeah.
In this circumstance, I mean, he's going to have 1-0 upgrade, which is very unusual in this spot. But hey, what do you know, Lowly getting the Baneling Nest for this defense.
Here is that push out. Now with the Warp Prism, he's going to be able to reinforce this, and there is a Motion Core here too. So if this turns sour, he can back out of there. And Sean, you just point out that Baneling Nest. I feel like that's a really pivotal structure, because I think if it was just Lings, this one Colossus that's about to come out and join up with this army that's never mind the Colossus, just going to attack anyway, so I'll just stop myself there. It looks like with Force Fields, this third base is dead, and that's going to hurt Lowly. That's going to be really tough.
Lowly's literally just letting it die, and there's the big old mass of Banelings. 19 Banelings in production.
Oh, jeez. But no speed, right? Yeah, no speed.
No speed, no nothing. Hive done, nothing being made use of it right now. Colossus 1 is out, being rallied forward. Third being taken. There's some great time warps. I mean, this is just a straight retreat from Lowly.
Yeah, and he catches almost all the roaches. The Banelings are waddling back and forth, but if the force fields can go down in the appropriate place, they'll never connect. Actually, as I say that, most of the force fields are gone. Succeed's having a tough time deciding what he wants to do. He's trying to pick up but also spread out here. But he's actually just going to evacuate the very expensive units, which are the Immortals, taking some clean shots here. Colossus walks out by itself. What are you doing? You're late to the party.
Oh, no.
But there's nothing paying attention.
He's like, I have a shield upgrade. I have a shield upgrade. I'm protected. I'm protected. And now the Banelings from Lowly moving down to the bottom side where that expansion is up. But, I mean, what do you warp in now as Succeed? You're going to have to warp in the wrong units. I mean, Zealots and Sentries are only going to be good if you have a lot of Sentries. And now we're starting to see...
Oh, another Colossus, though.
Breaking through.
You know what's happening here, Sean? Lowly does not have the larva to make this a scary attack. You know what it is? I mean, he's got... This is not a big Protoss army, but there's no reinforcements for the Zerg. He literally just does not have the ability to make enough stuff, and that's because he's been spending his few larvae on Zerglings, which are really taxing on the larvae, actually. This Colossus is going to make its way home. LOL.
Yes, Zerglings are the... Oh, man. Oh, if these Zerglings kill off this Colossus, I mean, if he spreads them out, oh my god, more Zerglings join in.
Oh, he saves it! Hey, it was all on purpose, man. That was part of the plan.
Dude, Succeed, he's my favorite Protoss player because, did you see that? That's the answer. 5 Ultras are en route. This is classic Lowly. Very comfortable being low on base count. Has all sorts of answers that your average Zerg player never even begins to explore. Getting a lot of Banelings, getting a lot of Hive tech up swiftly.
Sean, what would you like against Ultralisk?
Oh, I would love double Robo Immortal. Oh,
how about triple Robo Immortal? Is that any good?
Jeez.
Yeah. And then he's adding a Temple Archives, of course, for Archons, but that's a little bit of a pipe dream. He has no gas for that at this moment in time. But I'll tell you what, Ultralisk, super scary. You just got done talking about how they're doing like 40+ base damage. That is heaps of damage. But when you've got Immortals that were probably created just to make it so that Ultras don't rule the universe, that's going to be tough. And the economy of Succeed is actually a lot better than his Zerg counterpart.
But keep in mind, if you have Ultras, they knock down force fields. And if there are no force fields, then all of a sudden Banelings become Painlings, Jeff.
That's true.
Did you see that?
You did another sick pun, my friend.
I know, it happened live.
Appreciate your efforts.
That was on the spot, Jeff.
The Baywatch Warp Prism that saved a Colossus earlier on does end up dying fruitlessly at the top of the Zerg main base. I've seen Lowly do this before. In fact, he did something similar to this against Hero, where he kind of massed up Queens, got a few Infestors, went Ultralisk Baneling. A very potent army. The difference is, this time around, Lowly has never really had more than 2 bases. I mean, yeah, he's got a 3rd base, but there's literally 9 drones of that right now, so I have a hard time calling that a base of any consequence inside the macro game. Whereas Succeed sat back on a superior economy. He has a 30 supply advantage. It looks like a dip. Something just died over here. A couple of Zealots. But he's creating the perfect army because he knows who Lowly is. I think he only really recently saw Ultras, but he already had triple Robo production going.
This is an insane style from Succeed. I mean, part of me wants to be like, dude, how do you stop mutas?
Yeah.
that's how every ZVP tends to go. Especially in that mid-level where it's like winning, mutas, but Lowly's trying not to make this a gimmick. He's trying to make it a fleshed-out, reasonable transition from Succeed. 4 Colossus, that's the anti-Ling Baneling. 10 immortals. That's
10.
the anti-everything ground. Everything else ground that the Colossus doesn't pick off. That's what the immortals are there for. And then in addition to that, 4 High Templar for Storm. Like you said, Jeff, this is just the perfect force.
It is. You're absolutely right. He couldn't stop Mutalisk, but I think in the back of Succeed's mind, he knows that Lowly is just economically not capable of getting to Mutalisk. So here comes that Protoss army. And these Ultras are going to try to... I mean, there's one thing back to try to pick off the Nexus, but you know what? Succeed says take the Nexus. Do you see this army that chased you off? You can't touch it. You can't. The Queens with their Transfused, phenomenal against an army that's not laden with Immortals. It's going to be stopping at 10, apparently. And I feel like Succeed's just going to let these Templar gather their energy as he crosses the map, and then it's time to bop.
Oh my god, is he actually going to get Mutalisks? I mean, look at all those savings for Lowly. I mean...
You know what? Actually, as you say that, it is possible. I mean, he is saving money. Let's see. That Spire's going to finish here in a moment.
He needs to... Stargate for Succeed.
What? How did he see it?
I don't know.
What?
I don't know.
What? Let me check. He did not see the Spires. He's just doing that. He just knows. Well, there's Corruptors coming out.
Oh my god.
Goodbye.
Oh my god, the Ultralist and all the Transfuse and the feed. Oh my god, that died so fast. That died so fast, Jeff.
It did. And that was the nearly max Zerg army of fully upgraded Ultralist and Ling. Honestly, if there was like 20 Mutalisks coming out instead of 19 Corruptors, this might be an interesting game just because... Well, I'm going to cut myself off. Lowly is going to tap out, which does mean that Root sticks around a little bit longer. Succeed coming in the clutch off the backs of a +1 Zealot opening and closing it out with the man mode. 10s of Immortals. Sick game.
Well, I mean, Root Succeed really showing some flair. I mean,
yeah,
really showing some Immortals, Jeff. He really showed them quite well.
I'm kind of curious, like... He actually added 5 Stargates at the end of that, Sean. He didn't stop at 3, went up to 5, and he was getting +1 air attack. Is this a case of Succeed absolutely knowing Lowly, or is he just so plugged into the game that he knew that the only thing that could kill him... I mean, let me let you interpret this. Why? Why are these changes? The Immortals into the air gate, or Stargate, rather.
I mean, what I'm looking at is that there's 7 Warp Gates and 3 Robos. Generally, if you are a Protoss player at this phase, you're going to be having something closer to 13 to 16 gateways, you know, when you're going up to 4 bases, because you're going to be max, you can replenish. Hell, 20 gateways is not even unreasonable, but what we're seeing Succeed rely more on is the regular production structures, the things where when you say, build that, it says, starting now, and then it begins making. So, I mean, those armies are not good in terms of replenishment. So Succeed, I mean, by doing this, I think that he's saying, I will soon transition into mass Void Ray. That's the only thing that makes sense there.
Okay.
So I think he's anticipating for his opponent not to build Corruptors. Corruptors would suck against this army, in truth.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't even make... Lowly was just kind of going down a pipe dream. He was hoping to cancel out the Colossus, I guess, and he was probably also hoping that there was more Colossus than just the 4. If it's something like 8 or 9 Colossus, something ridiculous like that, then those Corruptors would have been super applicable. But with 10 Immortals, if you have any kind of Ultralist-based army, unless you're dropping Banelings or something super awesome, you're probably gone. So that's it for Lowly. He is going to tap out at the hands of Succeed. Our next match, and a super important one, another match point here, is going to be Puck going up against, as I squint, Straylock. So both of these players having already played before, Straylock winning his match, and Puck actually falling in his, but they're going to get another chance here. If Puck should win, this will go to that ace match. If Straylock wins, it's a Na'vi victory.
So, 2 of the best players on their teams, 1 who won, 1 who lost. Who's going to win? Well, all we have to do is wait 3 minutes. Stay tuned.
See you soon.